You've awakened the most useless SSSS level soul exchange priest in history. As long as you bind your opponent during battle, they will die as well. All the students and teachers at school mock you as the top level waste. But you feel quite proud of yourself, because you've had an incredibly terrifying healing ability since birth. Even if you're cut down to just a piece of meat, you can grow back fully. The money you used to awaken your divine job was even earned by selling your own organs. So you don't need to worry about hurting yourself. School beauty Lu Rian, who misunderstood you before, saw your misery and invited you to join a team. Although she awakened as an SSS level weapon master, you didn't accept because you wanted to keep your secret. Just as you were about to leave, the school bully Xie Zixuan gathered a vortex of wind in his hand and walked towards you. He had already openly declared he was pursuing Lu Rian. But today you've been entangled with Lu Rian multiple times, causing him to lose face. You stared at him without backing down. Didn't care at all about the threat of an A-level divine job. Move aside, you're blocking the way. Xie Zixuan was stunned for a moment and then laughed. Do you think you're so impressive just because you awakened an SSSS level divine job? You just shrugged when you heard this. What do you think? Just because you're from the Xie family you think you can bully everyone? Who do you think you are? Xie Zixuan was completely enraged. No one dared to humiliate him in public. He summoned 2 violent gusts of wind, raising them from the ground and slicing toward you with wind blades. Today I'll show you the power of a windmaster. If you dare, let's exchange lives. The surrounding students whispered among themselves. Although Lin Jian awakened the SSSS level soul exchange priest, he shouldn't release his skills too recklessly. Otherwise he might seriously injure himself or even die. Faced with the incoming attack, you didn't hesitate for a second and bound Xie Zixuan. The onlookers were so frightened they stepped back. Is he insane? Is he really going to exchange lives with Xie Zixuan? Exchange lives. Hell's Whale. Without hesitation you activated your skill. At that moment several wind blades pierced through your body. Your body was pierced with several wounds. Blood instantly oozed out, but you didn't immediately repair the wounds. You didn't want to give away any clues. On the other side, Xie Zixuan had already been bound as your target. The same wounds appeared on his body, and under the Hell's Whale skill he is suffering double the pain. The intense pain causes him to let out a heart-wrenching scream. Many of the students watching turned pale and stepped back a few paces. So it's really Hell's Whale. The soul exchange priest is truly terrifying. Xie Zixuan quickly pulled a bottle of medicine from his pocket and swallowed it. The pain in his body significantly lessened. He couldn't bear such humiliation, so he shouted angrily, "Is that all you got? If you dare kill me." "Do you dare?" Xie Zixuan laughed wildly, a hint of madness in his expression. "Ha ha ha, I heard you have a sister? If you dare kill me, I'll make your sister's life worse than death." A cold, fierce light flashed in your eyes. You will never allow anyone to threaten you with your sister's life. Since you want to die so badly, then I'll grant your wish. In the next moment you grabbed your abdomen. You forcibly split open your stomach, exposing your internal organs. Many of the girls present were already so scared they covered their eyes. Crazy, this person is truly insane. A huge wound appeared on Xie Zixuan's abdomen. He finally started to feel fear, although he had taken painkillers. Seeing his own body being torn apart was even more shocking than the pain. The sensory shock was worse than the physical pain. Xie Zixuan continued to scream wildly. You, what are you doing? If you hurt me, my dad won't let you off. The Xie family won't let you off. You gritted your teeth and thrust your hand into the gaping wound, crushing his kidney and ripping it out. What kind of bullshit, Xie family? You're not even worth a single strand of my sister's hair. Shattered organs spilled across the ground, causing Xie Zixuan to scream in agony. No, stop it. Lu Rian, seeing the situation getting out of control, quickly ran to find the principal. A golden humanoid shadow gradually appeared behind you. It was your innate talent, the undying corpse, that had been triggered. You arrogant bastards who think you're above others just because you were born into a good family. You really think you're better than everyone? Today I'll show you what true equality is. You ripped out another piece of shredded internal organs. The ground was instantly covered in blood. Xie Zixuan screamed in agony. Blood started pouring from his mouth. You can't kill me. Upon hearing this you reached out and grabbed his heart. Really? Xie Zixuan felt his heart tighten. In that instant he felt the shadow of death looming over him. Just then Principal Su Yun heard the news and rushed out as fast as she could. Lin Jian, stop, please. Su Yun saw Xie Zixuan's pale face and blood-soaked stomach and her heart skipped a beat in worry. After all, he was the young master of the Xie family. If he died at school it would be hard to explain. You ignored her and stared at Xie Zixuan, saying, "You think I don't dare to kill you? Do you really think someone like me living on the edge is afraid of you?" As you spoke you gradually increased the pressure on his heart. His heart was almost squeezed to a stop. Su Yun quickly understood the critical situation. Xie Zixuan, apologize to him now. Xie Zixuan was truly scared. He could already feel his heart gradually stopping. In the face of death all dignity and pride seemed insignificant. His eyes filled with terror as he whispered in a pleading tone. Lin Jian, I was wrong. You, please spare my life. You pretended to crush his heart. So you're afraid of death too? It's fine. I'll die with you, I'll accompany you on your journey. Xie Zixuan, terrified, knelt down with a thud. Lin Yi, please don't kill me, please. I truly know I was wrong. The students watching from around were silent in shock. They were used to seeing Xie Zixuan being arrogant and domineering. But it was their first time seeing him kneel and beg. At the same time they developed a deep fear of you. This person is a madman, never provoke him again. You slowly released your grip and lifted the soul exchange contract. Then you wrapped your wound with your clothes. You pretended to struggle and stagger as if you were about to collapse. But your internal organs had already healed. Xie Zixuan's painkiller wore off. His body collapsed to the ground and was quickly taken away by the school nurse who had arrived. After awakening, the physical abilities of divine servants are greatly enhanced. Even if 2 kidneys explode they won't die. But they still need to find kidney donors quickly. Otherwise I hope they don't buy my kidneys to use. You muttered to yourself, ready to leave. But you were stopped by Principal Su Yun. Lin Jian, how are you going to go back like this? Quickly go to the infirmary. Su Yun glanced at the time and said to Lu Rian beside her. Help him to the infirmary. The higher-up meeting is about to start, so it's hard work for you. After Lu Rian saw her off, she turned around and saw that you were almost disappearing around the corner. She quickly ran to catch up with you. Hey, you really aren't afraid of death, huh? Hearing this you ignored her and kept walking. Lu Rian hurried to catch up, stuffing a bottle of medicine into your hand. Take care of your health when you get back. Whether or not you join a team, don't disgrace the Divine City Academy. Also, I misunderstood you about the incident in the changing room before. You glanced at the bottle of medicine in your hand, slightly surprised. The vitality liquid is highly effective, but the resources are limited. Even with money it's hard to get. Even for the Xie family it's an extremely rare medicine. Lu Rian actually gave it to you? If you didn't accept it, instead you threw the bottle back into her hand. I don't need it, I just like to be alone. I already apologized for the previous incident. We're even now. I'll definitely take first place in the Divine Realm trial this time. But you, don't disgrace the Divine City Academy. Keep the medicine for yourself. Lu Rian was a bit angry but quickly calmed down. Dream on. With me here, you'll never get first place. This person is stubborn and proud, has guts. Too bad he's about to die. As for why you are so obsessed with being first, it's because your only family, your sister, is bedridden. And the only way to heal her is to become a divine servant, which gives you the ability to cure her completely. To register for Divine Servant Awakening you need to pay a registration fee of 500,000. Fortunately, with your extraordinary healing ability you sold your organs to afford it. And successfully awakened this extraordinary divine occupation. Little did he know someone else had already set their sights on your talent. In the room, at this moment Xie Zixuan's expression was filled with grief and fury as he swallowed hard. Dad, you have to avenge me. I'll make that beast wish it was never born. Xie Zhengou slowly opened his eyes and spoke softly. You're saying that person is an SSSS level life changer? She has a sister? Upon hearing this Xie Zixuan's eyes immediately lit up. He was very interested in her sister. Dad, you need to send someone to capture her sister right away. HMPH. Fool, you're just as foolish as your mother. A life changer is like a madman carrying a nuclear bomb. We need to figure out how to handle this bomb. Even if we don't do anything, just having her around will be a huge threat to others, understand? Xie Zixuan nodded thoughtfully. Then I'll have people bring her sister over. Then she'll have to listen. Xie Zhengou took a drag on his cigarette, thinking for a moment before saying, I'll send people to handle it. You focus on recovering. Then Xie Zhengou pulled out his phone and dialed a number. Uji, take some people and handle something. Do it fast. Meanwhile, as you were heading home you received a call from the school. The beginner's arena of the Divine Realm is about to open. Come back quickly. After hanging up you immediately turned around and headed back to school. The Divine Realm trial was extremely important. Especially for someone like you, a newly awakened divine servant. It was the opportunity to earn your first major reward. As long as you could rank in the Divine Realm trial, both the school and the city leaders would reward you. Even the country would give out rewards. Maybe with those resources your sister's illness could be easily cured. You made a silent vow in your heart. You must take first place. Only the first place prize will be the most rewarding. Not long after, a crowd had gathered in front of the school's Divine Realm gate. These were all the divine servants awakened by the school this year. But their qualifications were quite ordinary. The school leaders were tirelessly explaining the precautions for entering the Divine Realm. You listened absent-mindedly. Turning your head you saw Lu Rian watching you from not far away. Lu Rian slightly lifted her chin, looking at you with a provocative gaze. First place is mine. Hearing this you only found it amusing. How about a bet then? Let's bet on who can take first place. Sure, what are we betting on? Your eyes wandered over her figure. A condition that can't be refused no matter what. Lu Ruyan seemed to read your mind and blushed instantly. I knew you were up to no good back then. I am up to no good. If you don't even have the courage for this, then what are you competing with me for first place? At this moment hundreds of doors in the hall lit up simultaneously. Lu Ruyan took big steps toward one of the doors. HMPH. Let's bet then. Hope you survive and come back. You also chose a door and entered it. Different doors lead to random areas within the divine realm. They may contain danger, or great opportunities. The moment you stepped through the door, light swirled before your eyes. In an instant you smelled a strong stench of blood. Because the portal you entered was different. You were the only one who entered this area. At the same time Lu Ruyan was also teleported to a different area. Meanwhile outside the divine realm, Principal Su Yun and several teachers, even Xie Zhengou from the Xie family were all watching the movements inside. As you first entered the divine realm you looked around but detected no immediate danger. You intended to explore, but unexpectedly a wild monster suddenly leapt out from the forest on one side. It had several legs, about 8 of them, and was nearly a meter long. Its face was unmistakably that of a spider. You looked at the attributes of a human-faced spider but you weren't fazed in the least. This divine realm trial ranking was very important to you. You couldn't miss any opportunity to earn points. Without hesitation you formed a seal and enveloped the human-faced spider in energy. Life exchange. Hell's Lament. Facing the human-faced spider swinging its spear at you, you remained calm. You adjusted your stance, letting the spider spear strike a vital point. The spear pierced through, blood spilling out. But as a life changer, the human-faced spider had long been locked onto. The damage you suffer it must endure twice. The human-faced spider's web shot out like it was trying to cover the sky, rushing toward you. It seemed to intend to strike first, to kill you before you the life changer could kill it. However, facing the oncoming web and the toxic liquid seeping through, you didn't choose to dodge. Other life changers wouldn't dare to be so reckless. But you were different. The web bound you but the toxic liquid had no effect on you. Hell's Lament caused the human-faced spider great pain. It could only wield its sharp spear and thrust it at you. You deliberately exposed your abdomen. The spear pierced through, and the human-faced spider's abdomen exploded instantly. With the explosion of its abdomen, the human-faced spider died. The ruptured abdomen spat out webs and blood splattering everywhere. Meanwhile you calmly pulled the spider spear out of your body. At the same time, outside the divine realm, Su Yun and the others were watching the screens in front of them. The screens displayed the status and movement paths of the entrance. Although they couldn't see the exact situation, they could get a general idea. They could also switch to a specific entrance view. At this moment Xie Zhengou suggested, "This time we have an SSS level weapon master. The other is an SSSS level life changer. Everyone knows about the weapon master. But let's take a look at the life changer." As the head of the Xie family, his opinion carried weight. When he spoke, Su Yun could only agree. She also wanted to know what was going on with that madman Lin Jian. The teachers immediately looked at the screen and identified your location. From the map it was clear that you had already encountered the human-faced spider. The odds of victory seemed non-existent. Some of the teachers grew anxious. Although life changers weren't valued highly, the SSSS level divine job was invaluable. It was crucial to the school. Su Yun was also extremely nervous. If a life changer encountered the human-faced spider, it would be the most troublesome opponent for a life changer. At that moment the Divine Realms beginner trial map notification appeared. SSSS level life changer Lin Jian killed an F-level human-faced spider, achieving the first kill on the map. First kill points +1. At this moment Su Yun was stunned. Xie Zhengou was also stunned. How long has it been since they entered? Not even half an hour. A life changer actually killed it so quickly? The key is he's still alive. How did he manage to do this? Listening to the broadcast you raised an eyebrow and looked at the watch on your wrist. This watch was a special item, used to record rankings in the Divine Realm trials. At the same time, they could also use the watch to check their rankings and points. On the screen you were in first place with a 2-point lead. But this was just the beginning. Once the others recovered and got ready, the competition for points would officially begin. Meanwhile on the other side, Lu Ruyan, relying on her SSS level weapon master status, had already begun preparing after entering the burial grounds. She was confident she would claim first place. However, just as she was about to act, the announcement sounded across the entire map and Lu Ruyan froze. Lu Ruyan, hearing the broadcast, uncertainly looked at the rankings again. She saw that you were already far ahead. How is this possible? He's a life changer. How could someone like him get the first kill so fast? Lu Ruyan snorted coldly. Though we're not in the same place, there's no way Lu Ruyan will fall behind in the rankings. I will never lose to you. Lu Ruyan didn't believe that her weapon master divine job could be surpassed by some lowly life changer. While thinking this, a wild monster suddenly erupted from the ground beneath the dead land. Lu Ruyan didn't hesitate. In an instant she released her energy and easily destroyed it. Outside the Divine Realm, the instructors also noticed the changes in the rankings. Lu Ruyan's name was now right behind yours. After all, she's an SSS level weapon master. Wouldn't take long for Lu Ruyan to surpass Lin Jian. Looking at Lu Ruyan's ranking rising and continuing to grow, she quickly overtook you in a short period. Xie Zhengou commented, a life changer is still just a life changer. Even if their divine job reaches SSSS, this profession is still limited. In that place there are plenty of human-faced spiders. Killing one may be luck, but if there are too many, that's another story. His words seemed to imply he had little hope for you, almost wishing for your failure. It was clear to hear as well. This guy was speaking out of his son's matter. But in reality, Xie Zhengou just wanted to see if you had any value. That crazy and vicious nature combined with the life-changer profession would make for a perfect pawn. Of course, you would have to show some value. Otherwise Xie Zhengou wouldn't hesitate to have you and your sister both die. On the other side, after dealing with a human-faced spider, you planned to speed things up. But then Lu Ruyan caught up in the rankings, which surprised you. No choice. To catch up and claim first place, you didn't hesitate to slash your palm and use your own blood to attract more human-faced spiders. With more and more human-faced spiders appearing, you sprang into action. With your incredible self-healing and the life-changer ability, all you needed to do was one thing. Expose your vital points and bind your target. Then complete the kill. The speed was astonishing and your ranking skyrocketed. You easily dealt with one F-level human-faced spider after another. With your self-healing ability you faced no pressure. But just as you were feeling at ease, the prompt sounded. A level E Swamp Bloodbats panel appeared before you. The sudden appearance of the level E Swamp Bloodbat took you by surprise. F-level monsters were just the basics, but level E had some real strength. The E-level Swamp Bloodbat immediately used its skill Sonic Wave. The sensation of weightlessness and dizziness overwhelmed you, making it hard to stand. Noticing something was wrong with your body, you immediately bound the creature. Then you cast Hell Whale. In an instant, the dizziness you felt was alleviated considerably. The E-level Swamp Bloodbat, sensing something unusual, screeched. Damn, this Sonic Wave can disrupt my mind. While continuing its Sonic Wave attack, it charged at you, attacking while you couldn't retaliate. Seeing the Bloodbat charging at you, there was no way to avoid it. Angry at the bat's skill, you gradually calmed your restless mind. Life Change, Divine Chain Bind, Hell Whale. You quickly used all the skills. Only then did you feel a little better inside. The damage you took now seemed manageable. But on the other hand, the Bloodbat was not calm. Hell Whale caused it to take multiplied damage. Its originally fierce attack was all reflected back at it. The Swamp Bloodbat, sensing something wrong, immediately turned and tried to flee. You wouldn't give it the chance to escape. That Sonic Wave interference was indeed a headache. If you let it recover, you'd be in trouble. Without hesitation, you aimed at yourself for a fatal strike. The damage from Hell Whale doubled, causing the Bloodbat, which had just escaped a short distance, to let out a terrible scream and fall. With the E-level monster's death, your level increased, and you gained a new skill. Your attribute panel also changed. Night Eye Exploration? You didn't expect to gain a new skill after leveling up. This skill was completely copied from the human-faced spider. It was a pretty good skill. You stroked your chin and flicked the blood off your hand. Scanning your surroundings, you were still at the edge of the swampy forest and hadn't gone deep in yet. The deeper you went, the higher the level of monsters you'd encounter, making it more dangerous. But the reward for points would also be more generous. Now that you had Night Eye, you might as well go big. Let's see how Lu Ruyan can catch up. Outside the domain, all the mentors had been watching as you were surrounded by a large number of human-faced spiders. Everyone thought you were surely doomed, but no one expected those human-faced spiders to die one after another. Not only that, but your points were skyrocketing. Even the speed was now leading Lu Ruyan by a small margin. How did Lin Jian manage this?